I'm starting a really big job. I won't finish it today. What I'm going to be doing will surprise you. I'm going to be using a piece of equipment that you haven't seen me use on this farm before, and that will surprise you too. I'm Mike, and welcome to Mission Farmstead, the farmstead of many missions. On today's episode's mission, first, this field I'm standing in, it needs mowed. The grass is all the way up to my chest. But the reason I'm mowing it is different than one would expect on a regenerative farm. Secondly, I'm going to introduce to you a piece of farm equipment that you haven't seen me use on this farm until this episode. And third, you're going to get to ride around with me in the buddy seat as I use my new favorite piece of farm equipment. Are you ready to get to work? Let's go. This field I'm walking through, it has low production and it needs to be restored. I'm going to restore it this fall by tilling it up, but I can't just chisel plow my way through 3 to 4 foot grass, so I have to mow it first. And that is where this piece of equipment comes in. Well, there she is, folks. It's a John Deere FC15E flex wing mower. It's got 3 mowers on it that equal 15 feet. Let me demonstrate that to you. Right here's 1, 2, 3. Now those 3 together make 15 feet. I'll demonstrate to you here momentarily why it's called a flex wing. But I'm pulling it today with my John Deere 5090E. It's part of John Deere's 5 Series with 90 horsepower. Again, the E is for the economy class. That works for me, what I'm using it for here on this farm. So let me tell you a little bit about what I'm using it for. Here today, as I described earlier, we're going to be mowing this grass, but after fall tillage, going into the years ahead, next year in 2026, I will be keeping the place mowed as we start to establish new pasture. Now I want to do that simply because we don't want weeds coming up as the new pasture seeds are trying to take growth and germination. So I'm trying to prevent that. So I'll be mowing quite often next year with this flex wing mower. A lot of folks around where I live, they use these kind of mowers to restore old land that might have weeds yay tall, to start new fields for row cropping, or like what I'm doing, using it to keep things mowed for new pasture growth. Well, I got it all greased up. Let me go ahead and show you now the flex wings. We just went through a whole bunch of 3 to 4 foot high grass. So I have to run about 2.5 miles an hour to get through it. slow through this dirt patch I use for my demonstration on the chisel plow and the harrigator. If you haven't seen the harrigator video, I'd go check that out after this one. I think I can put this back in third gear. Leave that little spot back there I missed. This time next week, depending on when you see this video, this field we're working in right now will be all tilled up with the chisel plow. We'll use that chisel plow in order to get hoping 8 to 12 inches down in the ground. The reason that grass is behind me was only about a foot, and what I'm coming into is anywhere from 2 to 4 feet. It's because we're running over 200 pounds PSI on soil compaction. This farm has been no-tilled, from what I've been told, for quite some time. If I had to guess, I'd say since the 90s, when no-tilling came out and it was super popular. We got spots that are like this, that are 3 to 4 foot tall, and then we got spots right over here, what we went through before we hit this patch, about a foot tall. In those areas where it's about a foot tall, that's where all the compaction is. I put down agricultural lime. If you haven't seen that video, I show where we put 2 tons per square acre down, because we were running a pH at 5.2, and the goal was to get it up to 7. This field we're in right here, right now, being I'm tilling it up, I should be able to work that ag lime into soil. Probably tell right behind me. You might be able to tell. We're back down into like the 1 foot section, but I'm getting ready to turn, so I'm not going to speed it back up in this turn. Right now we're running about 3.4 mile an hour. Going through some pretty tall stuff. See what I mean? Down there is about 1 foot, and then right over next to it, we're about 3 to 4 feet tall. There's another good example. Where we're coming into right now, right through here, this used to be a massive erosion problem. Right down in there, it's about 8 to 12 feet deep of just erosion. Where you see that burn pile from there all the way back to those woods, probably 30 yards, 30, 40 yards. What we ran into with there is we had to take down a bunch of trees, because those trees were right next to the erosion that we had to fix. We were getting gullies all the way out there to that burn spot. I don't plan on tilling that back up. But I did a video on that too, on how we fixed erosion. Down here, Right through here is another big erosion issue. We had trees all the way over to here, coming through here on only one side. So we fixed it once. We got quite a bit of watershed coming off that field because of so much compaction that we're gonna have to try round 2, and that's why all that soil's there. Right there is going to be the future home of our farm school. Right now we're going about 4.5 miles an hour through this grass that's only about a foot tall. Thanks for riding along with me in the buddy seat. I did promise you a good seat. You got the best seat in the house. Not the house, the cab. The cab, Michael, the cab. I'm gonna cut this down so I only get about half of the mower mowing. I came in nice and thick. I did overseed that area. I wanted to make sure that it had enough, and it sure does. I'll have to pop it back down into B1. The transmission in this John Deere 5090 is a 12-speed. So I have ABC on the gears, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now I'm in B1. I'm going about 2.4 miles an hour. Look how tall this grass is. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's about right where the, yep, we're in it. It'll be nice to have this mowed before I till this ground next week. We putting all this green manure in the soil. I don't have any plans on tilling this ground any longer after next week. We're coming into some pretty thick grass. Lift up the grapple there so you can see. Almost comes up to the top of that. Give you a good angle. It's really tall. Well, folks, it's that time again. It's dad joke time. Why did the farmer want to buy a rotary mower? Any guesses? It's because he wanted to cut corners and still do a good job. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Oh, jeez. We should probably just get back to mowing. Well, we're coming up here on this corner. I want to show you something that I like to do. I'm starting to get close to that edge over there where we just mowed. I like, when I come around these corners, I like to put that tire right where the edge of the grass was mowed and cut, because I get the full swath when I make it that turn with the tractor and the bush hog. Well, we're halfway through, and we have a little bit of a visitor over here. I don't know if we're gonna get to see her. Maybe you can see her over there in the woods. She's eating cow peas. And just a blink of an eye, she's gone. She was right over there. We have a little patch of cow peas there. We were trying to fix another, a miniature area where we had some privet bush. We had to get taken out, kind of make our field more of a rectangular. But we are nearly halfway done. If you made it this far along in a video, I just want to say thank you for spending some time with me. I really enjoy this small farm life and being able to come out here and mow these fields and be out here in a beautiful nature. Thanks for spending your most precious asset, your time, to be with me. I'm going to share with you what these lights are on these gauges. First off, this one up here, that's a little tractor symbol. That's just letting me know that we got the front or the rear PTO shaft on. Now this tractor, as an addition, could have a front PTO, but I don't need that right now, so I didn't put it on. And over here, that's saying that we got all 4 tires running. John Deere calls it MWD. I bought this John Deere right after this invasive sickness. Inventory was rather low, but I kept looking and looking for a tractor like this. I knew I wanted a utility tractor. I wanted something that had some weight because I knew I'd eventually till up this ground. I wanted something that could pull a 15-foot flex wing rotary mower. I wanted to have a cab because you gotta have the AC going. I do like my 4-wheel drive. Growing up, Dad, he was an international guy, so it had to be Case or Farmall. We did have some Deutzes, Alice Chalmers. I always liked John Deere. My brother-in-law, he used to work at a farm that had, at one time they were doing about 12,000 acres. They always had John Deere equipment running. I always started liking John Deere from then on out. Dad always said there's nothing good about a John Deere except it's green like money. John Deeres are expensive. But I sure love this tractor. A lot. Oh, she's back. Right over there. Eating those cow peas again. She's looking up at us. She's still there. We'll spin back around here and see if we can get a glimpse. Still there. I'd be interested in knowing how many of you like deer hunting. Do you like deer hunting? Go ahead and put it there in the comments. For those of you who don't like deer hunting, or like both, I'd love to know who out there likes old farm tractors. And the modern day John Deere tractors, like this 5 Series. Put it in the comments, I'd be really interested to know. Okay folks, we are 2/3 of the way done. Start to see the other side of the field. We've got a lot of swallows flying around. Going through this a little slower. It's pretty thick to this area. We're getting close to finishing it up. Our deer friends are back over there. Right now I'm running that right tire on the edge where the grass needs to be cut, where it's been cut. The reason I'm doing that gives me 10 feet that's getting cut and 5 feet that's hanging over. By doing that, I take a little bit of strain off the engine, and this tall grass, I'm in pretty thick grass right now. I'm probably 4 or 5 feet tall. Maybe closer to 4 feet. But allows the other 5 foot to get a second pass on what we already cut. This rotary mower is doing a really good job of mulching all the grass that's there. We'll stop and show you those big stalks. You see them right down there? I don't think that chisel plow would have went through all that. Not at this height. But it's good because now we'll be able to take all this grass and be able to work it into the soil next week when we chisel plow it in. Give us a real good opportunity to get a nice new seed bed started for all the new pastures seeds we got coming. Getting close to the end. Right there's the field. Got another 2 passes. We'll have it done. Well, that was a big job, and it's only just begun. This field I'm standing in right here, this grass was up to my chest this morning. And now It's nice and mowed down. I got to introduce you to my duo here, my John Deere 5090E and my new favorite John Deere 15-foot flex swing rotary mower. Thank you for riding along with me in the buddy seat. I enjoyed your company. We've been together all day. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you on the next episode. It's Mission.